Hi, I'm Kat Berriera, Secretary of Staff Council. I'm here at the Harold L. Drummer Library's podcast studio with Greg DiRoma to talk about A Winter Dream, a documentary film that he co-directed. Greg works as a technical assistant in the Media and Instructional Technology Department here at SUNY WCC. A Winter Dream focuses on a determined and spirited floor hockey squad from Westchester, New York, that earned the opportunity to represent the United States and compete in the 2005 Special Olympics World Winter Games in Nagano, Japan. Thanks for joining me to chat about your film, Greg. So what inspired you to create the film, and when did you become interested in making this experience into a documentary film?
Yeah, so this film's been like 5 years in the making. So like my first documentary I made, like I started filming right before COVID, and like as we were getting out of COVID, I was finishing. It was my first documentary was called Our Triumphant Holy Day. It was about my trip to Israel, Palestine, on a Catholic pilgrimage that I was on. And like as I was just finishing the film, I was approaching the anniversary of my team going to Japan, which is in March. So one, I was realizing that we're getting closer to 20 years. But then the other thing that dawned on me was like, we had parents take video footage of the games and stuff, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I can get this to film very easily. So after I was done with that, a few years later, like 2 years ago, I started working on the film, and kind of got the ground running ever since.
Nice. So what was your goal for this project?
Well, of course, I wanted to just tell the story, as it was. There's like a lot of different things. I mean, I'm as a filmmaker, I want to tell as many different stories as I can. I want to, inspire people, stuff like that. So like as the project developed, I knew it was going to be like, can have some sort of impact on everybody, especially people, with special needs, parents and all that stuff, so it's definitely inspiration, but also just, being able to tell a story.
And what challenges did you face while making the film, and how did you overcome?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty challenging right from the start because like the first thing I needed to do was, get the footage from like my friend's parents. And I wasn't sure if it still existed or if we were going to, if they had it at all, or if I was going to get it. So first few months, like starting to, develop the story and everything, I was like, all right, we got to make sure we get the footage. So like I got in touch with my friends, my friend Will, his dad took 2 tapes of footage. So I got those tapes. One of them was good. The other one was molded and everything. So like, as I'm trying to transfer them, like I sent it to one company, they transfer the first one, fine, no problem. The other one that molds, they couldn't get it. So I was like, oh guys, I'm sweating blood here. I'm like, because I knew like I didn't have all the footage I needed. I just had like a couple of games and like just like 5 or 10 minutes of the gold medal game we had. So I was like, I gotta get this whole game, or else I can't tell the story. So I sent it out to another company. I just said, hey, look, I have this tape. I don't know what's on it. I just need to get transferred. And a few weeks later, she got it, and miraculously, I got everything I needed, the whole game, all the other games that I needed, stuff like that. So that was one challenge. I would say there were definitely a few other challenges we had. I mean, like one, trying to raise money. 2, once we got to post and started editing, it was a really, really big undertaking. We had 8 interviews. There wasn't a lot of footage from Japan. It's like 4.5 hours, but still, like, there's a lot to go through. Still trying to figure out what works best, what doesn't, that sort of thing. So yeah, editing was a big undertaking. Then doing the music was also an undertaking as well, because I wanted to kind of take a little more of a different approach than I did with my first film. So like, my friend Pete and I were just kind of trying to figure out like, what works best, what kind of flow can we do, and it came out really good. Everything just came out really nicely. So I was really happy.
Is it a combination of original footage and then new footage shot for the interviews now?
Yeah. So we shot the interviews, present day pretty much. But also like I shot some other B-roll footage, like some of my friends are still part of Northeast Special Olympics, and they were playing floorball. So I was getting shots of that, like for a couple of reasons. One, it's like more current footage, but also like last year, Northeast. So just to explain what Northeast is, that's it's an agency that's right here at Hawthorne, it's like down the road from here at the college. They service people with special needs. They do a whole bunch of different activities. They go on field trips. Of course, they participate in Special Olympics. So that agency that was a part of Northeast last year was going back to World Games again, this time at the 2025 World Winter Games in Italy. And it was the floorball team. 2 of my teammates were on that team, and my coaches were still, the same coaches I had in Japan for coaching there as well. So like I was getting footage of that, and it's kind of a spoiler territory, but like after this film ends, it's to be continued. We're going into that story, but yes, so it was a combination of current footage now, but of course all the footage I could get from Japan.
What a cool connection to connect to the new team now as well. That's great. So how did being a member of the team influence your creation of this film?
Yeah, I mean, I knew pretty much right from the start this was a story that needed to be told. I mean, once Japan, we came back. Okay, I guess you could say we had our 15 minutes of fame. We got our, the pictures. We were on the news a little bit, but like after like a month or two, it kind of just died down. I mean, some people still remember it, but after that, it was just like you didn't really hear much after that. So I was like, I knew I need to make the story. I need people to see, the challenges we overcame, and just how we got there, pretty much. So there was that, and of course, it's a sports film too. I always wanted to make a sports film. I'm big on that. So those were a couple things.
So where did you develop your skills as a filmmaker? And are there any filmmakers or documentaries that influenced your work?
Sorry. So I went to film school at Pace University. I graduated from there 10 years ago. Like when I was there, like their film program was kind of just in their infancy. So it was just starting out, but like I knew I really wanted to go to film. So I went to school there. I learned a lot. I even was in a class that they call producing a documentary. Like you literally, the class is the whole crew of the film, and then you go travel during spring break to different countries or sometimes around here in the States. So I went to Cuba 10 years ago. And at the time, we were starting to open up our relations with them. And funny enough, like, we were there the same time Obama was there, like, negotiating and things like that. And I actually got a shot of his motorcade coming. Then we also saw the Rolling Stones there. So yeah, that experience and just going to Pace developed my skills, but my skills developed a lot more once I actually got into the field, once I actually got into the workforce, because I mean, school can only teach you so much, but once you're actually in there, you're going to learn everything. Sometimes the easy way, but a lot more times the hard way. So, it's just, basically doing all the jobs I've done is develop my skills over the last 10 years.
Thanks for sharing that. Sounds like a great experience.
Yeah.
What advice would you offer to students who might want to become filmmakers?
Yeah, I mean, if it's your dream, go for it. Like it's a tough industry, yes, but like if you really love this field and this is what you want to do, just go for it. Pretty much.
So the film recently premiered at a Regal Cinemas location in Mohegan Lake, New York. What do you picture for the future of this project?
Yeah, so definitely more screenings for sure. I'm working on getting some future screenings like this year into next year. Of course, film festivals, submit to that, and I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it'd be awesome if it got picked up by somebody, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we're rooting for you. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have any future projects planned in the works?
Well, sequel to this one, of course. I don't have too much else just yet. I'm kind of also trying to see what other stories I can tell. But yeah, as of right now, it's the sequel to Winter Dream is my next one for sure.
Nice. So is there anything else about the film, the premiere, or your experience with the team that you'd like to share with the SUNY WCC community?
Yeah, I could probably share a few things. Well, I mean, this past Saturday went amazing. It wasn't easy to put together. And I was doing this at my childhood theater of all places too. So that was all of it was a big deal. And I saw some people for the first time I haven't seen in 20 years. So like when we made the film, like we couldn't get in touch with all my teammates. I mean, 4 of them unfortunately passed away. Some we just couldn't get in contact with because, their whereabouts. But I did get in contact with a couple of my teammates recently, and I saw them there for the first time, like 10, 20 years. So that was like really surreal, and just have everybody come together, taking pictures. Like most of our team, I don't think we've all been under the same roof like that probably since Japan. So that was a big thing. I guess for this story, I mean, yeah, I mean, I just want the story to inspire everybody. I mean, it's not just something I want to just tell just because. Like I want people to understand what people like us can achieve, and just I just want people to to know that they can overcome any challenge they want, pursue any dream that they want.
Thanks so much for sharing. And I know I speak for everybody at CWC when I say we're excited to see the film too, and we'd love to maybe arrange a screening on campus or something.
Absolutely.
So let's keep our ears open about something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, Greg. This was great.
Thanks for having me.